Hey, how are you? Let me know in the comments below. Today, I want to talk about the number one thing that bothers me the most about Christianity. There's a lot of things that bother me, from different teachings and doctrines and really disturbing things in the Bible, but the one thing that gets me the most is how it excuses individuals and institutions and corporations from taking personal responsibility. Now, I know some Christians are going to argue that it doesn't, but in fact, it does, because it ultimately puts all the responsibility on an invisible deity to actually make things happen. The Bible says, wait on the Lord. And, essentially you can't do anything without God. Only God allows you to do the things that you can do. So basically, without getting into a whole lot of theology, because I don't really want to spend my time going through all the Bible verses and crap. I'm not interested in any of that. Basically, it's taking you off the hook for everything, If God is your strength and you don't have the strength to do something, well, it must be God's fault. You do have the people who are like, well, you just didn't pray hard enough. But even prayer is kind of the ultimate get out of jail free card for people who don't want to do much. There's big social problems in the world. There's big political issues. There's war. There's famine. There's people who don't have clean drinking water, whatever it is. Well, we'll pray about that is the ultimate fucking cop-out. It's like, come on, you can do better than that. You can fucking do better than that shit. Like, for real. Are you going to do something, or are you going to put all that responsibility on some deity who just has to somehow make magic happen? I mean, I think about, let's take the environment, for example. It's the Christians who do the shittiest job with the environment because God said the world's gonna end anyway, and he can just do miracles and, whatever other crap is completely, they don't feel any personal responsibility to take care of the earth. Now again, this isn't universal with Christians, but particularly evangelical and conservative Christians, this is pretty universal. There's pockets within that it's probably not, but generally speaking, Christians are worried much less about the environment, even though the Bible also says that it's their job to take care of it. They tend to look at Genesis and be like, subdue creation and kind of destroy creation, rather than living with creation, living with the natural world and working with it for the betterment of humankind and all species and the planet. And we also can look at situations like wars and genocides where awful things are happening, and kind of justify doing nothing by praying, pray for Ukraine. I've seen that so goddamn much. And I totally understand the sentiment, particularly Ukrainians who call for prayers for Ukraine. It tends to be a fairly religious country. So I totally understand it, but people in the West were just like, well, just pray for Ukraine. It doesn't do jack shit. I'm sorry, it doesn't do jack shit. What does is donating money, lobbying, supporting and checking in on your friends who either live in Ukraine or are from Ukraine and going through physical and or emotional hell. You know what I'm talking about? Like, for real, this is practical help. And a lot of Christians just don't feel the need to practically help or make a difference. Some do, but a lot don't. And a lot kind of use it as an excuse not to, because God's got it. So why do they need to stick their necks out? Which obviously also kind of goes against biblical principles. But Christians are famous for cherry picking what they want and throwing out what they don't want. And so Christianity gives this pretext to do jack shit about anything, because why do we need that personal responsibility? God's got it, man. Just get on your knees, let Jesus take the wheel, and God has got it. No, man, fuck that. Really, since I don't want to say I'm an atheist, I don't know exactly what I am at this point, but since I don't believe in the God of the Bible anymore, or any really known God entities, my personal responsibility has shot through the fucking roof in terms of pretty much everything.